Good morning from down under, everyone. My name is Variance Blitz, and this is part 2 of the Let's Play of Rogue Trader Lex Imperialis. Let's get right into it. And if you like the series, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and offer a toaster to the algorithm priests. We shall commence. Alright, so next part is to go up and talk to this. Sadly, this is scrolls far too quickly to actually read this, unfortunately.
Escort the child of the house to safety. Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warren Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup.
Faster! Restore communication with the navigator's sanctum! I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once! I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
I need a weapon, I'm utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
Lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
Okay, time to leave.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Lock the door behind us.
Run, fools, or fall!
I do love the cutscenes in this game.
Mistress? Whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me! What is the meaning of this?
How did you find me? Are you with the trader?
Mistress, with all due respect, what nonsense are you saying? Kunrad? A traitor?
He openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind this mutiny.
Saint's blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Mistress. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Okay, so we get our first player character, companion, and some actual gear that we can use, because we are Blade Dancer, we actually want swords. At least until our psychic powers are nice and built up. I'll just pop all this on. It's a shame I have to cure this, because we would actually prefer if we could keep the injury. Alright, so Abelard, or Space Dad, our second in command and first officer. He is a warrior, and he's pretty good at it. He's basically your tank in this game, and a huge fan of Iconoclast route. He'll get some use in this game, but he will inevitably get benched for other characters that we will recruit along the way. But he is pretty good as a warrior, and then eventually a vanguard, where he just becomes an unstoppable beast.
I'm at your service.
Medipack with me?
This wound will make a fine. That is a noticeable improvement. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
What exactly has gone on with the translation?
I am no helmsman. Oh, God Emperor preserve me, navigator. However, I've spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Geller field has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the war. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
How did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
I think the Warrant Sentinel may have sent the message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warrant Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warrant Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
What can we expect to find in Navigator's Sanctum?
During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
I'm under no obligations to such risk.
I concur that under ordinary circumstances, interrupting the Navigator's solitude would be equivalent to suicide. Right now, however, our sacrifice could prevent the demise of a rogue trader, a void ship of the Imperium, and all her crew, armaments, and equipment. The choice is obvious.
I had one of Theodora's Voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
For the Imperium and humanity, lead the way, Seneschal.
Come.
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
Alright, lead on, Macduff.
Your demise is already calculated.
Come to chaos.
Alrighty, so we're just gonna set up here, because there's no real cover to take. But I will say the last time
Just
I
a
played
minor
this
thing.
was when it came out,
Conserve the
so there has
ruinous
been
powers.
some nerfs here and there.
I took care of this one.
But it'll be interesting to see how well
At your beck and
characters
reduced
turn
to
out,
dust.
and whether or not my favorite character is still broken as all hell.
Who?
That's
Another
that.
enemy down.
Chaos guides me.
Crush the feeble!
My ears are ringing.
Alright,
One fewer target.
charge as well.
Indeed.
See what I mean by Airball is just such a good fighter.
Your end was inevitable.
Stab, stab, and
It's as you never stood a chance.
Now we will be melee for a bit, but eventually we are probably just going to rely on our Zaggy powers in terms of our own character. Now we can put all this stuff in the cargo zone. It's useless. Alrighty, so our first level up, we want Medicaid for us because it works with way denser abilities. And Everard is athletics. Alright. Did navigate Sanctum.
Death, I hear it. Here, on the threshold of the blinded guide, doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head.
Dual barrel roll.
Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abela, how they sing.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate, to die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn, and in the roaring blaze I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
A diviner, are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you, Von Valancius, are a sorcerer too, just like the other one. Lady Theodora must have grown so fond of psychers she wants one to replace her.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelstrad's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
How do you know who I am?
What? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you. I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart.
What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the engineerium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Enginseer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
You want to see if the Navigator is well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Our second companion here is Idura. So this is our first psychic companion that we get in our retinue. As you can see, she's on the heretical path. Her general 2 psychic power trees is divination and telepathy, and telepathy is pretty okay, at least from what I remember when I first played. Unfortunately, we will not be using Idura this playthrough, and she will get benched as quickly as possible. Mainly because of this. So, when I first played with my heretical run, this, I swear, went off more than 5%. I was cursed. It was like more like 20%. So, I'm not dealing with that this run. Everyone up. Quick save.
Let us
In we
not
go.
dawdle. To arms!
Let the blood flow!
Alrighty, Psycho and this guy. Go over here. Does not good. Okay.
Let's make
I've
it quick.
faced worse than this.
Alrighty. Lightning these two to death.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Unlimited power. And foresight. Able arc. Before warning.
Death to non-believers!
Alright, stab.
At you.
I will do my duty.
Charge. And
Victory is
again.
imminent.
Alright, go over here.
Your end
Wait
was
there.
inevitable.
For a free stab.
I'll
And,
see to it personally.
I took care of this one.
I believe Master Vespider still lives. Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Hey, are you alive?
Your time is short.
Our time was short to do what?
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Ah! It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Now, if you've seen the Astarte series, you should know what you have to do to this person.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me. Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
Who torments you?
The Urge. Kneel before the ascent of a new champion. When the rite is complete, this shell will burst, and thousands of Moors will accept the sacrifice offered to the edge of daybreak by the bringer of twilight, the one marked by the will of the gods.
What's that supposed to mean?
A rite. A sacrifice offered. Oh. My heart tells me that Kunrad was not deterred by his defeat in the warrant chamber.
I would be disappointed if he did.
What? Kunrad betrayed Lady Theodora? Oh, but how is that? How? He was as loyal as a dog. And I didn't hear a thing, I swear.
Loyal dogs don't shake you in the back with a knife.
The footfalls of the bringer of twilight are veiled by the will of his masters. Tear out your eyes. See who is to become the champion's servant, for you need them no longer.
I want to help you. Tell me how.
Run. The sanctum will be sealed. I will hold it off. Hold on. And wait for the signal from the Master Helmsman. Then I will commence the translation. So, run. Run.
I cannot bear to see his agony any longer. I'd rather put an end to it.
You can't! It's only thanks to Master Vespider that we're still alive. If he falls, this whole ship is doomed. Let him do his duty. You know it's the last thing he'll ever do. If he lasts that long.
The navigator is still alive, but barely so. What do we do now?
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
The spiders. Good luck. And thank you.
Alright, so let's go loot everyone. Alright, we do want to keep that. That can be set to cargo. It's a very nice feature because it saves you from having to do it with everything else in the future. Same with that one. And there's already there. Alright, we'll put this on. And to the next map.
Keep your wits about you.
I guess it's a little bit late to say this now, but obviously if people could not post spoilers in the comments, that'd be great. I know I'm going to make an effort to not spoil things, even though I know pretty much everything but the DLC at this point.
Your ship's as good as ours! It's all over for you!
I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Somebody shoot this...
Shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My God, my light, my Emperor.
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face, it is unfamiliar. Who are you?
I shall introduce myself after you do the same.
Allow me, mistress. Sister Argenta, sacred warrior of the Adeptus Sororitas. Sister, this is Mistress von Valancius, a member of the Rogue Traders House.
The hour is dark and daunting. The ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the archenemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the dark forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
Life's great mystery, isn't it?
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelthrad the Heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
I am no traitor, sister, you can be sure of that.
If you speak truthfully, the Emperor will not forsake you. If you are lying, you will not escape his retribution. I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic!
Was a warrior of the Adeptus Sororitas doing aboard a rogue trader ship? Your orders serve the ecclesiarchy, do they not?
Sister Argenta is a guest of the Lord Captain. And that story deserves its own time and conversation, under more appropriate circumstances.
Enough idle chatter. I am where I must be, and that will suffice.
Who are these people with you?
Overseer of Middle Deck AL-84, my lady. We were rounding up everyone we could find in the attack compartments when we ran into an ambush. Just about every enforcer fell. These are the survivors.
What's happening on the officer's deck?
Massacre, my lady. And heretics are not just killing the crew.
Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lady, be on your guard.
We must get to the main hall of the deck.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a Tectomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one.
You try offering a toaster.
Good to hear it. Sister?
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
Alright, toaster jokes aside. This is our third companion that we get.
Sins
Argenta.
hidden in the heart turn all to decay.
Argenta, as you can see, is a very dogmatic companion, and we will actually be using throughout the entire playthrough. I have a rough idea of everyone I want to use, but depending on composition and stuff, they might have to kind of sit in and out, but we'll see when we get there. She is a soldier, a very good one. She comes armed with a trusty bolter and a pistol. Bolter's a pretty good weapon overall. Unfortunately, she'll probably have some accuracy issue until her blessed skill gets up, but she can certainly unload. I'm guessing she probably did get nerfed somewhat, but you can't fully nerf Argenta. What do we got here? New sword. Alrighty. I'll just make sure there's no more loot. Think.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Yep, that's everything. Alright, drop another quick save. In we go. Let's have some fun. Before we continue, we'll go into formations very quickly and set this up a bit better. My character, actually no, what we want is we want a Argenta up the front. There we go.
I always keep my options
Run,
open.
fools, or fall.
The masters
Okay,
demand your
so we
death!
got Idaras first. So we can nuke that side. Yeah, okay. So Idara gets there. Argenta can go on this side. Our character can go here. Avod can go. Avod can go here. Alrighty. So I'll start off with a nice lightning, and we will just obliterate the side. Almost all of them, pretty to be expected. Forewarning
But
on
of
her,
course.
increase the dodge. I'll move Argenta up.
Guided by faith!
We'll use her special ability.
Doubt is for the weak.
And Bolter Shot.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
That's not too bad.
I'll do it.
Oh, we got more people already. That's aside, we were doing very well as an opener. And then we will just kill that one. I bet I'll just go in this one. We missed anyway.
Out of my way!
I will endure.
I didn't even go after Idara. Oh well. Go over here.
Follow my lead. At your one fewer target. It will be done.
He's a bit of a tanky boy. Okay.
Death to the weak!
See what lighting can do. Situation. Hi. Yeah, I can't from there. Alright, we'll be up to here then.
I'll make it happen.
I bring ruin.
Alrighty,
Will do. Anything it farewell.
and we'll give that to a Junta.
Faith without deeds
multiplier.
is worthless.
Alrighty,
Tried and tested
up
tactics
there.
are the best
Stab.
ones.
Charge.
Indeed. Reduced to dust.
Yeah, this fight's pretty much over at this point now. Move up. We all move up to there. There we go. Wait.
Who, if not me, the best?
Be expected. I don't think I'm in lightning range.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
They who discern the future on the battlefield.
My lightning range, yeah, every one of them, so we might as well just scream. Forwarding. I can't see. Move up. Move up. No, she missed. Oh, wait, we got running gun again. Let's try again.
God Emperor, move through me! Be the fire in my
See what I mean?
heart!
She needs worth skill before she will truly.
My place
Start
is at
popping
the
off.
fore. That's not the Seneschal's job. I'm not interested.
Oh, I got a bit too close. Oh well. That's fine. We'll just do this
I'll
instead.
make it happen. Another enemy down.
Alrighty. Let the looting commence, so that's good. No, right, I forgot to put the sword on. Able, what are you, 7-9, 7-11. Train weapons deal more critical damage. I'll probably be using psychic power, so we'll give that to Able. You can actually just put on that one. Yeah, that's all going in the cargo already, which will act as like means of getting better gear with factions. We'll cover that when we get there.
Is there money to be made?
Cast your eye there!
There we go, more stuff. Body over here. Alright, so stuff that we just loaded is items that help you with skill checks. Like that. I find a lot of people tend to actually not use these a great deal.
Nothing's impossible for this
And
old
you get plenty of them
officer.
in the series. And you can generally get them off traders as well. Tech use. Alright, so since we don't have our companion yet, that is our tech use character. Who has the best tech use? Definitely not me. So everyone else is pretty average, so we'll just put them on Able for now. Even though I'm using toy
I
box for the
always
sake
have a
of
backup
making
plan.
the Let's Play a bit more easier to sit through, we still need the actual skill to be able to pass checks in the first place. So I'll show this off. Melt bomb.
Never doubt me.
dialogue's not showing. We offer a toaster to turn the power
An
back
expected
on.
result.
Let us not dawdle.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge. Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Shotgun. We won't be using it, so go over there. More multi-keys. More medkits.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
I think that's everything here. Yep. Time to blow up the door.
I better myself through my service.
Alright, we level up again. So we finally get access to what's going to make this character fun, which is Death from Above. Basically jumping and murdering people, but we can't do it just yet. We've got to wait a bit longer. Abel gets Endurer. This is where he starts becoming more and more tanky. Exposed weakness is very useful for an operator. So that way he makes boss encounters a lot easier. Won't say no to it. And level in the Slaughter. This will be helpful for her because of the bless skill increase. Alrighty. In we go. Into the breach. Over this way. Oh. Game dropped autosave, so I'll just drop a quick save anyway.
I always keep my options open.
Cross the bridge.
Are you lost, my heir?
I somewhat don't think so.
An apparition. A sorceress apparition. Trickery of the warp.
If the voice wasn't a hint enough, it's obvious.
Sister, you will lower your weapon. Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous.
This is impossible.
I doubt you are aware of the limits of what is possible. For your worldview is but an iota of what a rogue trader knows and sees. But I can tell that you would like me to share that knowledge with you. That power over reality. I can lead you out of these flames, show you a path, rid you of pain, and give you a weapon so that you may defeat your enemies. Decide.
Do not listen to this abomination. If there is naught but his light in your heart, if you are resolute in your faith, then step into the flames. The Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred by either darkness or deceitful promises. Nor will the fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul.
To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora before we suffocate in this furnace.
The people! The survivors from the middle decks! We must help the crew! Lead them out! Find a way around!
Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Edel. What are we waiting for?
So this is where we get our first choice for the choice system in the game. I'm just going to show something off very quickly, then do a quick reload.
I will show you the way. Go on. Close your eyes.
So that is the only option where you get sent to a secret room for extra goodies, which is kind of neat. Does make all the different choices actually matter. Now I'm going to reload, because obviously we're not doing Hereticus. But I figured I would just show that off.
Keep your wits about
what
you.
we actually want to do is go down this way first. And then we will multi-key the door.
An expected result.
Plate the body. Helmet. Then we'll put that on Abel because he's our tank. Could give it to someone who's not as tanky, but that's fine. Our character will be innately dodgy. Alright.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
I'll just skip this part again.
Sister, you will look.
Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Edel. What are we waiting for?
The Emperor will guide us on the righteous path. Oh, sorry, the Emperor will guide the righteous on their path. Walk through the fire. Roasty toasty. I'm sorry, they didn't have plot armor.
Mistress, can you hear me? Oh, you're alive. Which is more than I was expecting after what you just did.
Praise the Emperor! We passed through the flames! How can this be anything but a portent? For so it is said, that the Emperor will bless the worthiest and most steadfast in their faith.
The Emperor protects, Seneschal.
Indeed he does. Huh, if I hadn't seen it myself, I never would have believed.
The loaded bolt pistol helps as well with that.
What happened to Lady Theodora? Did she follow us?
There was no Theodora, witch. There was an illusion, a temptation, a foul taint that tried to lead us astray. But she perceived its true nature.
Is that right, Adepta Sanctimonious? What? We'll just pretend like we didn't see the Lord's Captain standing there in the fire? Abela, you tell her.
Eberhard, introduce me. No, we haven't gotten to that point yet.
Whatever it was, it matters no longer. Your conduct is bordering on madness, or holiness. A path opened behind you, where one moment there was fire, the next only smoldering embers remained. But what am I saying? My eyes must have deceived me. Too much smoke for my lungs. Truly, would you have received wounds like these if there had been no fire.
The wounds are merely a sign of a trial laudably passed. It is something to be proud of, the same as decorations or badges of honor.
No element holds power over the righteous.
Did my eyes deceive me? I could swear that I just witnessed you step out of a pillar of fire with the rest following in your wake.
It was the only way. We are here in response to your Vox call.
I did not expect you would make it here in time. After all, the mutiny caught the entire crew off guard, as they were scattered all over the ship. I must say, your wounds...
Look closely at him. Oh dear. You're not in the best shape yourself, Adelthab.
Noticed the signs of my blessing, have you? Yes, the warp is taking its toll. But I'm still sane and able to hold my weapon. I'll fight for the Von Phalanxius bloodline to the end. And if the price is the eternal curse of mutation, so be it.
I can fight, at least for the time being.
Then let us steal our souls. Our greatest trial awaits.
Lead on, Macduff.
I have gathered everyone who answered the Vox call and was able to hold a weapon. Yet I do not see the Lord Captain or her arch-militant in our midst. We are still receiving messages in her voice, but she is not responding to direct requests. I last saw Lady Theodora on the observation platform. When did you and she part ways?
It was at this very elevator, Master Edelthrad. The Lord Captain, accompanied by the Arch-Militant, headed to her chambers to retrieve an item of particular import. After that, all we heard from her were Vox broadcasts.
This is troubling, and the timing is inopportune. I am still receiving fragmentary reports from the bridge. Kunrad Voigtveer was spotted there, and even what scant intelligence on his activities I have reminds me of descriptions of sorcerous rituals. If that traitor has resorted to witchcraft, we must stop him at once.
I shall go to Theodora's chambers to find her.
A reasonable approach. Take your escort with you. You may be waylaid. Once you have found the Lord Captain, you must beg her to go to the bridge and lead the counterattack. The rogue trader's appearance is sure to fill the defenders' hearts with hope, however frightened or exhausted they may be. Until next we meet, may the Emperor bless your deeds. I shall see you on the field of battle.
Okay, so our next task is set.
Let us not dawdle.
Over here. Go over here on this side, get the items. Alright. And with that, I'll call an end to this part here because we're getting close to the hour mark. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.